President Samia Suluhu Hassan has directed for reduction of fuel charges. Police kill 5 robbers in Kigoma region. And in sports, Simba Sports Club's Kibu Dennis and Yanga's Kibwana Shamari have been included in the national football team. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's start things off with the national news. President Samia Suluhu Hassan has directed that charges made by various institutions dealing with fuel in the country worth 102 billion shillings per year be reduced so as to bring down the price of fuel and ease the lives of Tanzanians. She made the statement after receiving a report from the Minister of Energy, January Makamba, on implementation of directives she gave to the ministry to review the fuel trade trends and prices.
Alitoa maelekezo tangu mwezi wa 7 kwa Wizara ya Nishati.
From directives given to the Ministry of Energy since July this year that following fluctuation of fuel prices at global and regional levels as the government, we have to come up with solutions towards price increase on what we can do as a country to at least reduce the burden to citizens. Today we had a meeting with Her Excellent President where she made history of reducing up to 8 levies that at some point contributed much on increasing fuel prices.
And President Samia Suluhu Hassan also met and held talks with the Director General of the Arab Bank for Economic Development in Africa, BADEA, Dr. Sidi Olud Tah, at State House in Chamwino, Dodoma, where she assured that BADEA will continue to support the efforts by the government of Tanzania in bringing about development to its citizens.
I had the privilege to be received by Her Excellency the President of the Republic of Tanzania. That was an opportunity for me to congratulate her and also to congratulate the Republic of Tanzania for the achievement in terms of economic development. I seized this opportunity to present the new strategy of the Arab Bank for Economic Development in Africa, BADEA, the strategy called BADEA 2030, with the 4 main pillars, and to discuss with Her Excellency how to scale up the cooperation between BADEA and the Republic of Tanzania to increase the level of our intervention and the amount of financing we are providing to the country. And we expect many projects will be funded in the coming years by our bank, as well as technical assistance programs and trade and private sector support.
Mheshimiwa Rais ameyapitia yale maelezo ambayo ameyatoa kwa upande wa
Honorable President has gone through their strategic plan and so that they are not at par from our government development strategic plan. In the coming new strategic plan of BADEA, our government will cooperate with them. So far, we are determined to complete projects at hand so that people will continue receiving services like Same Mwanga Korogwe Water Project, construction of Mnazi Mmoja Hospital, construction of Chake Road, just to mention a few.
5 people alleged to be robbers have been killed, with an unknown number escaping after stealing a police vehicle that was conducting patrols at the Kibondo Kasulu Road. The incident occurred near Nduta refugee camp in Kibondo district.
Askari wetu walipofika eneo hilo ambalo walikuwa tayari wameweka mawe, waliamuliwa na majambazi hao kwamba wateremke.
When our police officers arrived at the scene, they were ordered to come out of the vehicle by armed criminals. But sadly, before they did so, they discovered that the vehicle had police officers. Therefore, they threw a hand grenade at the vehicle, which did not explode. Our officers responded by firing back. Before arriving at the scene, our officers had carried out an inspection of the area and found 2 other hand grenades and machetes.
Hali ya usalama kwa ujumla tunapofika maeneo haya kwa sababu sifa za hapa toka zamani zinakuwa sio nzuri.
Security in this area is not good. We are very fearful.
Na tunawapongeza sana jeshi la polisi.
We commend the police force for their assistance.
The management and employees of IPP in Dar es Salaam, which include those from ITV, Radio 1, Capital TV, Capital Radio, East Africa TV, East Africa Radio, The Guardian and Nipashe newspapers that had not received the COVID-19 vaccine have received the vaccine as part of a special group at IPP grounds in Mikocheni.
Kwa niaba ya uongozi wa IPP Media, uongozi na wafanyakazi.
On behalf of IPP Media Management and staff, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Her Excellent President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Samia Suluhu Hassan, to facilitate COVID-19 free vaccine in the country. Secondly, I would like to thank Ministry of Health under Dr. Dorothy Gwajima in organizing the plan to ensure availability of vaccines in the country. And thirdly, to the Chief Medical Officer of Kinondoni District, who facilitated today's exercise. I have also took the jab, and here is my certificate.
Tumekuja hapa asubuhi lakini watumishi 64 wamepata chanjo ya uviko 19.
So far, 64 staff of IPP Media have took the jab for COVID-19 Johnson type. For what we have discovered is that many did not have right information on importance of COVID-19 vaccine, where we have educated them on its importance.
Niseme hofu imeisha kwa sababu
fear is over. From what I have read from newspapers and other media, that so far 80% of Tanzanians have already been vaccinated. I asked myself, why not me? That is why I had to come and take the vaccine.
The government of Tanzania has signed a financial aid agreement worth 195.92 billion shillings to implement the plan for the second phase education results program.
I hope that EP for ARA will be implemented smoothly, and we know that this phase 2 is actually a success of the EP for ARA phase 1, which started implementation was in 2014, and it took almost 5 years initially, where it was supposed to end up 2020, but with support from SIDA and the World Bank, the implementation continued up to 2021, which was around June. So, Your Excellency Ambassador, as you are aware, the education program for research is a multi-donor project funded by the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office.
I'm very honored to be here today to sign the agreement of this very important program with the potential to increase the quality of education for 16 million students, 16 million girls and boys out there. And EP4R, the second phase, will of course continue to support and incentivize sustainable changes in the national education sector to support girls and boys to stay in school and to learn. Our contribution, as has already been mentioned, will provide the government of Tanzania to access a grant amounting to Swedish kronor 750 million, equivalent to Tanzanian shillings 195.92 billion, or US dollars 85 million.
Mbalimbali ambao ni msaada, sio mkopo. Kuna wadau wengine tunashirikiana nao kupitia mkopo.
There are other stakeholders whom we are working with through loans, but the government of Sweden, through SIDA, we are able to receive aid which enables us to contribute to the education sector.
The police force in Dar es Salaam Special Zone has arrested 27 people accused of stealing cement bags following an accident that involved 2 lorries at Mbagala Mission area.
La polisi kanda maalum ya Dar es Salaam limewakamata na linawashikilia watu 27.
Dar es Salaam Special Police Zone has arrested 27 suspects in connection to issues of theft after 2 lorries accidents that occurred in Bagala Temeke district on 4th and 5th of October. Recently, when accidents occur, instead of people coming to rescue and save their fellow Tanzanians, they show up with the aim of stealing. After the accident occurred, Dar es Salaam Special Police Zone conducted a search in houses that surrounds the accident area, where they managed to arrest 27 people and rescued over 300 bags of cement, 3 motorbikes and a bajaj that were used to carry looted cement.
The President of Zanzibar and Chairman of the Revolutionary Council, Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi, has said that his government has allowed investors to rent out small islands in order to bring about economic changes, create employment and increase tourism. He made the remarks during a meeting with the Nigerian High Commissioner to Tanzania, Ambassador Hamisu Umar.
Got potential in tourism investment as well. Now we are opening up to investors we have a lot of islands surrounding the bigger islands. Okay. And we are intending to give them out for hotels and for conservation and water sports and so on. So we would like to see investors from Nigeria into our tourism industry, both in hotels and in our islands or even in heritage or the Stone Town here.
I want to commend Tanzanian government for initiating what is called the blue economy. That is a very good opportunity for investment. The blue economy is innovation. So, although fishing has been taken seriously by countries to make the business environment larger, but to identify that system of business and call it blue economy is an innovation actually.
Maini mpaka itapofika February mwaka 2022 tutakuwa tumefika hatua kubwa sana.
I believe that by February 2022 we shall have made mega strides. Our main task is to continue working on these issues.
The head of the traffic police in the country, SACP Wilbred Musafungwa, said that investigations on the accident that caused the deaths of 9 people and over 40 injured at Kolo Hills area have revealed that it was caused by negligence of the bus driver.
Na kuweza kubaini kwamba gari hiyo ilikuwa mpaka inaanguka.
The vehicle has been inspected and it was established that the vehicle was on 5th gear, which means that it was very light to go on such high speed. The driver was arrested and he is in custody. Process to take him to court is underway. His license will be revoked. He has Class C license which allows him to drive a bus, but he will no longer be allowed to do so. I urge other drivers to observe traffic rules because a lot of accidents are caused by high speed.
Tayari tumeshaweka alama nyingi za kuwaonya madereva wapunguze mwendo.
We've put in place many warning signs, but some drivers don't pay attention.
The Minister of Health, Community Development, Gender, the Elderly and Children, Dorothy Gwajima, has said that the second phase of the COVID-19 vaccine will arrive in the country on October 8th of this year, with over 600,000 Tanzanians having already received the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
Tumepita kwenye afua nyingi za kupambana na ugonjwa kuanzia kunawa.
We've gone through various stages in fighting COVID-19, from washing hands with running water and soap, use of sanitizer, exercising, nutrition, traditional medicine, But the world has learnt and came with vaccine, which was hard to understand in the beginning, but we've educated each other and there was a positive response. Until yesterday, at least 600,000 Tanzanians were vaccinated. This is very good response. We have worked with other stakeholders, but we were enabled to.
Sote tunafahamu kwamba kazi kubwa sana imefanyika.
A lot of work was done to construct health centers, but to employ medical personnel as well as health centers that had been built require medicine and medical equipment and training of staff. There is still need to work with development partners, enable government to complete health centers, get training, but also supply medicine and medical equipment.
Tumeweza kufanikiwa kuimarisha uwezo wetu wa ndani.
We've been able to strengthen internal capacity, which is the objective of this government, to make sure that key projects are implemented.
And that is all for the national news. International news is up next.
Are you ready for some great news? I'm Christine Mundwa.
And I am Eddie Micah Jr. with the brand new DW News Africa,
The show that tackles the issues shaping the continent.
now with more time to offer an in-depth look at all the trends that matter to you.
What's making the headlines and what's behind them?
We're on the streets to give you in-depth reports and insights.
DW News Africa.
And in international news, 4 suspected members of ISIS group have been killed in a raid by security forces in the capital, Khartoum. Here is more on the report.
Sudan's General Intelligence Service say the incident that took place on Monday in the southern district of Jabra also left 1 military officer dead. 3 soldiers were also injured, while 4 members of the terrorist cell were arrested. Monday's raid took place in the same district, where last Tuesday 5 members of the General Intelligence Service were killed, while 6 others were injured as security forces went after a cell linked to the Islamic State's group.
In Kenya, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission has rolled out a voter registration drive targeting between 6 and 7 million new voters ahead of the 2022 general elections. In the first phase, covering 30 days, the electoral body targets to register at least 4 million of the new voters, with another exercise set for January next year if the target is not met.
On the 9th of August 2022, and members of the County Assembly, all the 1,004.
Ferdinand Marcos Jr., the son and namesake of the late Philippines dictator, has announced that he will run for president in next year's elections, entering an already crowded race and upending an expected alliance with the ruling party's candidates. Here's more.
Popularly known as Bong Bong Marcos, had been touted as a potential candidate for either the presidency or the vice presidency, having been involved in politics since his return in 1991 from exile following his father's overthrow in 1986. Before his announcement on Tuesday, there had been speculation that he would run in a united ticket with a candidate backed by his ally, outgoing President Rodrigo Duterte. He is the 4th candidate to officially announce a run for presidency. Others include Manila City Mayor Francisco Damagoso, retired boxing icon Manny Pacquiao, and Senator Panfilo Lacson, a former police chief.
And that is the end of international news. Business news follows after this short break. And in business news, Cashew nut farmers in Ruvuma region have urged the government to oversee prices of the crop so that farmers can continue to benefit from the warehouse receipt system.
Tunduru should be the first cashew nut producer in Tanzania, but we've not yet received a certificate to show that we can produce first-grade cashew nuts. The price on the last season had dropped when you compare it to that in 2019 and 2020. You know the people hurting farmers by name and where they live.
Tanzania Chamber of Commerce, Industry and Agriculture (TCCIA) has said that the Africa Business Council conference taking place in Egypt will enable them to identify opportunities in the Africa free trade market.
Kuhakikisha kwamba wadau wetu wa sekta binafsi ambao tunashirikiana nao.
It is to make sure that stakeholders in the private sector whom we work together are fully involved in the joint East Africa market, how they are going to be included, but how we can help them.
And farmers from Arusha, Manyara and Njombe are undergoing a training aimed at building their capacity to produce quality avocados that meet standard requirements in the international market.
They have grown the economy of Njombe through avocado crop, so we decided to come and learn by working with Taha, who have enabled us to get to Njombe. There is a lot of work to do. You cannot be selfish when it comes to avocado farming. In regions where they do very well in avocado farming, Njombe is #1.
Is all for the business news. Sports is next.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's going to be dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's going to be dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Opposition, Joaquinho, he did lose some length.
And now on sports. The Taifa Stars head coach Kim Paulson has added Simba's Kibu Dennis and Yanga's Kipwana Shomari to the national team. Here's the story.
Started after he joined Simba from Mbeya City, but now the issues have been cleared and he can play for Stars. Calls from soccer fans for youngster Kibwana Shomari to be called to the national team have also been heard by coach Kim after the left-back played well for Yanga during the start of the season. The Stars are in camp as they prepare to face Benin this Thursday in the Qatar 2022 qualifier.
The Twende Butiama cycling caravan is on its 3rd day with more than 100 cyclists having already arrived in Dodoma and are expected to take part in tree planting activities within the city.
Ronaldo sat on the
Ghana Solskjaer's decision to use Cristiano Ronaldo as a substitute in Saturday's 1-1 draw with Everton has been criticised by the Manchester United manager's own mentor, Sir Alex Ferguson. Here's more.
Until the 57th minute. United were leading 1-0 when he came on, only for Everton to score an equaliser through Andros Townsend as United's recent indifferent form continued. In a video which emerged on Twitter, Ferguson, who played a significant role in bringing Ronaldo back to Old Trafford, is heard to question Solskjaer's team selection. filmed talking to the former mixed martial arts champion, a United fan Khabib Nurmagomedov, in the director's lounge at Old Trafford after the Premier League match. Ferguson appears to suggest Ronaldo should have started.
Kylian Mbappe claimed the French national team made him feel like a problem in the aftermath of Euro 2020 and admitted that he would have liked more support from teammates after his missed penalty sealed their tournament exit. Here's more.
By Switzerland through a shootout in the last 16, a shocking development after they had won the 2018 World Cup. Mbappe has been busy in the press this week, having also taken aim at Paris Saint-Germain for preventing his summer move to Real Madrid. In an extensive interview published in L'Equipe, Mbappe said, "I've never taken a single euro to play for the French national team, and I'll always play for my national team for free. Above all, I never wanted to be a problem."
Bubba Wallace became the second black driver to win at NASCAR's Top Cup Series level when rain stopped Monday's playoff race at Talladega Superspeedway.
Wallace had driven through a crash and to the front of the field 5 laps before the second rain stoppage of the race. NASCAR tried to dry the track for nearly 45 minutes, but up against sundown and the rain not showing any signs of ceasing, the race was called off. Wallace had been waiting atop his pit stand for NASCAR to make a decision and explode in his celebration with his crew when the race was called at the hallowed Alabama track. Wallace is in his first season driving for 23x1 Racing, a team owned by both Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan. He's the first black driver to win at NASCAR's Elite Cup level since Wendell Scott in 1963, a race where he wasn't declared the victor for several months. NASCAR at last presented Scott's family with his trophy from that race 2 months ago.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. On behalf of everyone who worked to bring you this bulletin, my name is Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching. Good night.